Imagine for a second that it is 3 o'clock in the morning and you are staring wide-eyed at the ceiling fan spinning in the dark because your mind just won't shut off. You are doing that mental math we all do, right? You are adding up the rent, the utility bill that was $20 higher than last month, the grocery run that somehow cost $100 for 3 bags of food, and that looming credit card payment. Your chest feels tight, your stomach is doing flips, and you feel like you are running a race where the finish line keeps moving further away every time you get close. We have all been there, trapped in that suffocating cycle where it feels like your money is controlling you instead of you controlling your money. It's a heavy, exhausting way to live, and honestly, it's just a feeling that stays with you throughout the day, affecting your work, your relationships, and your sleep. But I want you to take a deep breath right now because I'm telling you that it does not have to be this way, and more importantly, it is going to be this way for you much longer. Today is the day we change the narrative. We are going to build you a $1,000 safety net, and we are going to do it much faster than you think is possible. This isn't about some complicated stock market strategy or starting a massive business. This is about simple, aggressive, and highly effective shifts in how you handle the money already passing through your hands. By the time we finish this conversation, you aren't just going to have a list of tips. You are going to have a psychological roadmap to financial peace of mind. Most people look at $1,000 as this unreachable mountain, especially when they are living paycheck to paycheck. But here is the secret that the wealthy know. $1,000 is just a series of small, intentional decisions stacked on top of one another. If you can save $10 here and $50 there, those small wins create a snowball effect that gains massive momentum. The reason most people fail is because they don't make enough money. It's because they don't have a system to catch the money that is currently leaking out of their lives like water through a sieve. We are going to plug those leaks today. I'm going to show you exactly how I personally went from feeling broke and anxious to having a solid grand in the bank in record time. And I'm going to walk you through 7 specific hacks that are designed for the modern American economy. This is about taking back your power. This is about the WealthCraft way of thinking, where we craft a life of abundance, starting with the very first dollar. If you stick with me until the end, I promise you that the way you look at your bank account is going to change forever. You'll go from wondering where your money went to telling it exactly where to go. Let's dive into the first major shift. And this is something that almost nobody talks about because it's a bit of a hidden drain on your finances. I am talking about the subscription shadow. Think about Sarah. Sarah is a typical hardworking professional in Chicago. She's got her Netflix, her Spotify, and her gym membership. But then there is the $5 a month app for photo editing she used once in 2022. There is the premium delivery service she signed up for during a promotion and forgot to cancel. There is the cloud storage for a phone she doesn't even own anymore. When Sarah actually sat down and looked at her bank statement, and I mean really looked, scrolling through every single line item, she realized she was spending $95 a month on things she didn't even use. That is over $1,100 a year. The problem here is psychological. These companies rely on inertia. They know that once they have your card on file for a small amount, you are likely to just let it ride because it feels like too much work to cancel. But that $95 is a dinner out, a new pair of shoes, or more importantly, the foundation of your $1,000 goal. Here is what you need to do. Pull up your bank app right now or print out last month's statement and highlight every single recurring charge. If you haven't used it in 30 days, kill it. Don't tell yourself you might use it later. Cancel it now. You can always sign up again later if you truly miss it, but I bet you won't. This one move alone can often find you $20, $50, or even $100 a month that was just vanishing into thin air. How much of your hard-earned money is currently being spent on ghosts? Now, this next hack is where things get really interesting because it hits us where we live, literally. We have to talk about the grocery gap. Now, we all know inflation has made the supermarket a scary place lately. You walk in for milk and eggs and somehow walk out $80 poorer. Let's look at Mark. Mark lives in a suburb in Texas and he loves to cook, but he doesn't plan. He goes to the store 3 or 4 times a week because he needs 1 or 2 things for dinner. Every time he goes in, he grabs a snack, a sparkling water or something on sale that looks good. By the end of the week, he spent $200 on groceries, and half of it is sitting in the back of his fridge turning into science projects. People fail here because of decision fatigue. When you go to the store without a list and you are hungry after work, your brain is tired, and you make impulsive, expensive choices. To hit that $1,000 goal fast, you have to adopt the Pantry First rule. Before you go to the store, you look at what you already have. Maybe you have a jar of pasta sauce and some rice. Great, that's a meal. You only buy the absolute essentials to bridge the gap. By cutting your grocery trips down to once a week and strictly sticking to a list based on what's already in your kitchen, you can easily save $40 or $50 a week. That is $200 a month right there. It feels like a small sacrifice in the moment, but when you see that balance in your savings account growing, that feeling of control is better than any impulse buy snack ever could be. Are you eating your potential savings because you're too tired to plan? But here is the part most people ignore, and it is arguably the most powerful psychological tool in this entire list. The 48-hour cooling off period. We live in a world designed to make us spend. Amazon has one-click ordering. Instagram has targeted ads that know exactly what you like, and your phone is constantly pinging you with limited time offers. It's a dopamine trap. Think about the last time you bought something online late at night. You felt a little rush when you hit buy, right? But then the item arrived, you opened it, and within 10 minutes that excitement was gone, replaced by a slight sense of guilt when you realize you didn't really need it. This is the instant gratification cycle that keeps people broke. Here is the hack. For any non-essential purchase over $25, you must wait 48 hours before buying it. You put it in the cart and then you close the tab. If you still feel like it's a vital necessity 2 days later, then you can consider it. But what you will find is that 90% of the time that must-have feeling disappears by the next morning. You were essentially hacking your brain's reward system. Imagine if every time you didn't buy that $30 gadget or that $50 pair of jeans, you moved that exact amount of money into your savings account instead. You are literally turning your no into grow. It's about shifting from being a consumer to being a creator of wealth. How many things are in your house right now that you bought on impulse and haven't touched in a month? That is your $1,000 sitting in a closet gathering dust. Moving on to hack number 4, let's talk about a major US-based expense that we often overlook, the convenience tax. In America, we are obsessed with saving time, even if it costs us our future. Think about the morning coffee run or the midday food delivery. Let's look at a person named Maya in Atlanta. Maya is busy, she's stressed, and she feels like she deserves a little treat. So she gets a $6 latte every morning and orders DoorDash for lunch 3 times a week because she doesn't have time to pack a bag. Between the delivery fees, the tips, and the inflated menu prices, she is spending an extra $150 a month just for the convenience of not having to prepare her own food. This is where people fail because they equate self-care with spending money. They think, I work hard, I should be able to buy this lunch. And you do work hard. That is exactly why you shouldn't be giving your hard-earned money to a delivery app. If you start brown bagging it and making your coffee at home, you aren't just saving money, you are investing in yourself. You are telling yourself that your long-term security is more important than a lukewarm burrito delivered 30 minutes late. This isn't about never having fun. It's about being intentional. If you cut out the convenience tax for just 30 days, you will be shocked at how fast you hit that $500 mark halfway to your goal. Is your convenience costing you your freedom? Now let's get into something a bit more tactical and hidden. The utility audit. Most of us just pay our electric, water, and phone bills without a second thought. We assume the price is the price, but this is a mistake. Take the case of David in California. David noticed his phone bill had crept up to $110 a month. He'd been with the same carrier for 5 years. He finally called them up and said he was thinking of switching to a cheaper provider like Mint Mobile or a lower tier plan. Suddenly, the representative found a loyalty discount and a better plan that brought his bill down to $60. That's $50 a month saved with one 20-minute phone call. You can do the same with your internet provider and your insurance. In the US, the loyalty penalty is real. Companies often give the best rates to new customers while slowly raising prices on long-term ones. By spending one afternoon calling your providers and negotiating or shopping around for a better rate on car insurance, you can often unlock an extra $100 a month in recurring savings. This is set it and forget it wealth building. Once the bill is lower, that money stays in your pocket every single month without any further effort. Why are you paying more than the person who just signed up yesterday? The sixth hack is something I like to call the digital declutter cash in. Almost every American household has at least $500 worth of stuff just sitting in drawers, garages, and closets. We're talking about old iPhones, game consoles you don't play anymore, clothes with the tags still on them, or even kitchen appliances like that air fryer you used twice. Think about a guy named Chris. Chris wanted to build his emergency fund but felt like he had no extra income. He spent one Saturday morning taking clear photos of his old gear and listing it on Facebook Marketplace and eBay. By the following Sunday, he had sold an old camera, a set of dumbbells he wasn't using, and a few pairs of designer sneakers. He made $640 in a weekend. This is the fastest way to jumpstart your $1,000 goal because it doesn't require you to cut your spending. It just requires a little bit of sweet equity. It's also incredibly cathartic. When you clear out the physical clutter in your life, you clear out the mental clutter too. You realize you don't need all this stuff to be happy, and seeing that stack of cash or that big deposit in your bank account is a massive psychological win. What is sitting in your closet right now that could be turned into the peace of mind of a fully funded emergency fund? Finally, we have hack number 7, and this is the golden rule of personal finance. Pay yourself first. This is the one that changes everything. Most people wait until the end of the month to see what's left over to save. But the reality is, nothing is ever left over. Life expands to fill the space you give it. If there is money in your checking account, you will find a reason to spend it. Let's look at Maria. Maria decided that as soon as her paycheck hit her account, she would automatically transfer $50 to a separate high-yield savings account that she didn't have a debit card for. She didn't even see the money. At first, she was worried she wouldn't have enough for her bills, but she quickly adjusted her spending because the money simply wasn't there. It's like a tax you pay to your future self. By automating your savings, even if it's just $25 a week, you remove the need for willpower. You don't have to decide to be disciplined every day. You only have to be disciplined once when you set up the transfer. This is how you build a fortress around your finances. You are prioritizing your security over your temporary desires. Almost nobody does this because they are afraid of not having enough. But the truth is, you will always find a way to make it work with what's left. The question is, are you willing to put yourself at the top of your own list? So let's recap how we get to that $1,000 fast. First, we hunt down those subscription shadows and cancel the ghosts. Then, we plug the grocery gap by shopping our pantries and sticking to a list. We implement the 48-hour cooling off period to kill impulse spending and reclaim our brain's reward system. We stop paying the convenience tax and start investing in ourselves by prepping at home. We perform a utility audit to stop the loyalty penalty from draining our accounts. We declutter our homes and turn our unused stuff into cold, hard cash. And finally, we automate the entire process by paying ourselves first. If you do these 7 things, you won't just save $1,000. You will develop a completely new relationship with money. You'll start to see every dollar as a little soldier that can work for you instead of something that just disappears. I want you to imagine how it's going to feel 1 month from now. Imagine logging into your bank app and seeing that comma in your savings balance. 1000. Think about the weight that will lift off your shoulders. When the car makes a weird noise or the dentist says you need a filling, you won't panic. You'll just reach into your fund and take care of it. That is what true wealth feels like. It's not about mansions and Ferraris. It's about the freedom to breathe. It's about knowing that you are in control. This journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and you've already taken that step by being here and learning these strategies. But learning isn't enough. You have to act. I want you to pick just one of these hacks, just one, and do it as soon as this video ends. Cancel one subscription. List one item for sale. Set up a $10 transfer. Start the momentum. If you found value in this today, if you feel even a little bit more empowered to take control of your financial future, then you are exactly why we started WealthCraft. We are building a community of people who are tired of the struggle and ready to craft a life of purpose and security. If that sounds like you, hit that subscribe button and join us. We got so much more to talk about, from building credit to investing for the long term, but it all starts with this first $1,000. In our next video, we were going to dive deep into how to actually invest that first $1,000 to start making passive income, so you definitely don't want to miss that. Remember, your current financial situation is not your permanent destination. You have the tools, you have the knowledge, and now you have the plan. Go out there and start crafting your wealth. You've got this, and I will see you in the next one.